Please stop yelling slurs at kids in the park. I'm begging you, baby, you're breaking my heart. Oh, please stop yelling slurs at kids in the park. I'm begging you, baby, you're breaking my heart. Oh, please stop yelling slurs at kids in the park. You could just take a walk, you could go sit in your car. Please stop calling children all those names. I don't care if they call you the same. Oh, please stop calling children all those names. There's other places for you to take out your rage. Oh, you could make a pie. Oh, you could do your hair. Oh, you could drink a nice cold beer. Oh, you could talk to God. Oh, you could take a bath. Oh, you could tell me how you feel. But please stop yelling slurs at kids in the park. You could find a hobby, you could make some art. Oh, please stop yelling slurs at kids in the park. We know you're a racist, you don't have to try so hard. Nice cold beer. Oh, you could talk to God. Oh, you could take a bath. Oh, you could tell me how you feel. But please stop yelling slurs at kids in the park. I'm begging you, baby, you're breaking my heart. Oh, please stop yelling slurs at kids in the park. You could just take a walk, you could go sit in your car. He tries to make jokes, but he stutters. He's really not funny. He still gets the honeys. Adam Nutter. He thinks he's funny, but he's not. He tells his jokes and people stare. It don't matter to him, cause he don't care. But he cries himself to sleep at night, knowing that he'll never be as funny as Dan Smotz. But he cries himself to sleep at night, knowing that he'll never be as funny as Dan Smotz. Adam Nutter. He says that he's funny, but I don't believe him. You don't believe him either, because it's not true. He tries to be funny, but he hasn't got a clue. Adam Nutter. I guess I believe that he thinks he's funny. The rest of the world doesn't seem to agree, but maybe that's the joke. But he cries himself to sleep at night, knowing that he'll never be as funny as Dan Smotz. Cries himself to sleep at night, knowing that he'll never be as funny as Dan Smotz.
That's it. Okay.
This is a Dissident Media production. DissidentMedia.net.
In a world where everything sucks, two men have the balls to laugh at it. This is The System is Down.
Breaking news. People don't like it when you call children the N-word at the park. Trump doesn't know how to do math with dolls, and the Epstein files may or may not be missing. We might have a new pope. Who knows? Let's go.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
gentlemen, boys, girls, and whatever you think you might be in between, welcome back to the show. Today's show is brought to you in almost its entirety by, well, you. In the Downers Club, people like William Ogle, Searcher, Nathan Gall, Keenover, Gilda Kate, John Winshore, Bob Seifert, Drugstore Robots, Autumn Pangea, Sean Beaverhout, Carolina, No Dread, Zarathan, Trash, Maxwell, Kimberly, Kim Yuppie, Justico, Silas, Denise, Joey, Perry, Adam, Donald, Matt, Osmotaz, Danielle, Sean, Stoney, Keith, SDG, Level Zero, Events Out Media, Stephen Hartman, Rick Duran, Craig, Brian, Nathan, Brian, other Brian, John, William. If you want to get your name on that list and have it read incorrectly someday, go on over to patreon.com/The System Is Down. We'll get more weird, more raw, more offensive, and weekly content. That's right. Weekly. We are back up to the regular weeklies. We're going to be doing one today, too, an after party. So get in there and sign up, support the show, help this show get bigger and better and more entertaining guests than the one that we have today. Yeah, support everything that we got going on here. Now, I can't do this show alone. Sometimes I try to and fail. So I generally like to have at least the man Dave Casey with me, and sometimes Dave is just so awesome that I have to bring somebody along to level that out even. And that brings me to my next point. Our guest today is a man who needs no introduction, because nobody cares. It is Adam Nutter. Hey, it's Adam.
I want to address a lot of things off the top of the show, first of all. First, it looks like I'm doing this from a fucking, like a hostage video with what's behind me. Like, I'm about to get fucking beheaded by ISIS in 2 seconds.
Yep. 2,
that song in the beginning was certified banger until the very end. Didn't like that part at all. And third, Dan Smotz is gay. I don't know if you guys knew that, but he is actually very gay. And no one really likes Dan Smotz. But it's good being here. I love Dave. So, you know.
Thank you, dude. I love you, too. And I love your guys' banter. Smotz will commit to an inside joke like no one I've ever met before.
I will. People still think I hate Dave Smith and think that he's a Nazi or something. But the difference between your and my feud and Dave Smith's feud is ours is absolutely 100% real. And
Yeah.
For those that aren't familiar, here's I don't think this is where it started, but this was part of the problem here. Let me see if I can actually pull this up. All right, here we go.
Where the beef started.
It's part of the problem here. We're going to need audio, preferably.
Dan Smotz in the house? Yeah. Or he leaves too. There he is, Dan. Dan looks like if Tim Burton drew a libertarian. That's what Dan Smotz looks like.
Oh, wow.
Dan Smotz.
Just smacked the shit out of me, Joe.
Keep Tim Burton's name out your fucking mouth!
All right.
Beautiful.
There's that. Throwbacks.
Good times.
Yeah. Adam, who are you? Where do you hail from? What do you want the people to know about you? Why are you an expert qualified to speak on the news?
Well, expert's a fucking strong word, you know.
Hey.
Definitely not. Hey, Dave, what's up? Definitely not an expert on anything. But I do a fun podcast with 4 other guys that you guys probably know: Kyle Matovic, Sam Urban, Luke and Typo from Biting the Bullet podcast called 5 Till Midnight. We do it live every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern because it's the only time that matters. Central, fuck cares. So check us out on YouTube, Rumble, all those good things. And I actually took a break from doing comedy because I tore my tendon and I couldn't travel.
I thought it was because you suck at doing it and nobody liked it.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Tore my tendon and I couldn't travel.
The market has
for a while.
spoken.
Nope. One person doesn't count as a market. So now that I'm all healed up, I should be getting back to it currently. So and follow me on X, Twitter, whatever the fuck you want to call it, at Adam Nutter. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. A very professional opening. Now we're gonna jump into the news. I don't know where any of y'all land on this Pope situation, but the conclave has begun. I believe it's the Catholic Super Bowl, where everybody gathers around the Vatican and stares at the chimney, waiting for the smoke to come out. And if the smoke comes out black, that means they have not chosen a new pope. If it comes out white, it means they have chosen a new pope. If it comes out pink, The Pope is now a girl, and if it comes out blue, it is a boy. I'm pretty sure those are the rules. I could be wrong.
They're obviously dog whistling, bro. Fucking Africanized smoke and the white smoke reading you loud and clear.
That's right.
We're about to have a race riot in this country. If you could just fucking chill over
In this
there.
country, right outside the Vatican in this country, we're going to have a race riot. Yes.
It did come out black.
They're spurring
black,
it on.
Yeah.
It
He was
did.
cool.
It did. This is the update we finally saw after I'm sure everybody was gathered around watching the live stream. It was going on all day, waiting to see if they had a new pope. But it has been confirmed that they do not. They do not have a new pope, and it will reconvene tomorrow. I don't have any jokes for that. That's just facts.
No, actually, I am Catholic, so that black pope that they're pushing, actually super based. He should get elected. He's like super like anti-LGBTQ rights and shit.
Oh, cool. By based, you mean freebasing cocaine, right?
Is that the guy getting
Yeah,
pushed
that
right
too.
now? Like
He was one of like the. If there was like a DraftKings odd poll, you know what I'm saying, like odds of next pope, he's probably like 30-1 or something like that, like around mid.
Wow.
For next pope.
Where's he sitting?
Yeah.
Where's he sitting now?
I don't know. They don't say anything after. Like they
Oh.
just kind of have like the names in the beginning, and then it just goes into the fucking. By the way, you guys see the movie The Conclave talking about pushing propaganda?
Yeah.
You guys watch that?
I
movie?
watched it before it was cool. I watched it before the Pope died. I watched it on my own accord, and yeah, it's trash. Absolute trash.
Absolute trash. I'm gonna spoil it, so anybody who wants to watch it, go.
Feel
fuck
free.
yourself.
We've already
It's terrible.
spoiled
Don't
it a
watch
time or two on the show, so go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, then, fucking, I shouldn't even do it. But for the sake of no,
I want to hear your version of it. Go ahead.
No, the whole thing is like it's going back and forth between two popes in the movie. Like again, super like right leaning pope, and then one pope who's like played by Stanley Tucci, by the way, who is gay. He's like, I'm fine with gay rights and women's rights. It's like, boo, that guy. Go for the base Italian guy because I'm also Italian. And then the guy who winds up winning, he's not like a troon, but he's like a hermaphrodite, I guess, technically. And he doesn't disclose that till the end. Like he already gets voted in. And then
The Afghanistan tranny Pope.
Yeah,
is the-
yeah.
Yes.
And
But
then
not
Ray
quite
Fiennes
trans.
was like, well, your message is right. So, and God made you that way. It's like, okay. And then he wins and he's the Pope. The movie was fucking dog shit. So
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I don't know. It was a cool premise. It looked visually pleasing, stunning, even, and that's why my wife and I watched it. And then we were going through it. It's like, wow, are all bishops and cardinals just complete pieces of dog shit? Oh no, not that one. That guy from that guy with a vagina from
Bing.
Afghanistan
Yeah.
is the only one that is a decent human because the rest of them are white assholes. But you know how Catholics be or something.
Yeah, that's how we are.
Speaking of Catholics, that brings us to our next bit. You guys remember Joe Biden? Definitely still alive, Joe Biden. You know
Come
who?
on, man.
Never heard.
Definitely still alive, and you can tell because he was recently spotted in this picture with his family at Easter.
That's photoshopped as fuck. Holy shit, that looks like a fourth grader did that. That's not even a good one.
Did Smotz make this? Smotz, you
No,
made this, didn't you?
I did not. They released this as an actual sign of Joe Biden being alive. This was a release
No, they
from
did-
official
no.
accounts. Yes.
No, it is not. No,
Yes,
it
it
is
is.
not. I've seen the real picture, and he's wearing fucking khakis like everybody else. This is
Well,
bullshit.
you find me the real picture. This
That's
is what's been
wild.
going around as an official release of Joe Biden
can't
on
believe
Easter.
I'm officially doing investigative reporting right now. I'm gonna
Either Joe Biden in this picture, either it is photoshopped or Joe Biden's legs were severed and he is just sitting on his nubs there.
You know what this picture looks like? It looks like the old father of the picture was like left the family in disgrace, and like the new stepdad came in and they love him so much they like cut him out as like a collage and then put him where their dad used to be. That's what it fucking looks like.
Yep. This was originally a picture of Donald Trump in the background, just looming over them. They cut him out and put in Joe Biden.
That's crazy.
Dave, you feel free to continue your fact check on me and let me know if I'm right. Oh,
Joe Biden, followed by 38.1 million people, shared this picture with him in it. You aren't fucking kidding, bro. You did your homework.
That's crazy. That's such
But
a
this is
bad
fucking-
Photoshop.
Oh, it's retarded.
yep.
Wow, definitely not dead.
So now that we've confirmed that, now we've wasted time confirming that I was right on something, Dave. Go ahead and tell me your thoughts on this
Look
picture.
at how he's just sitting there like this. He's like sitting like this.
Like, he's not even angled the right way for how you would be angled if you were in that position at the top of the stairs. Like, everybody else is kind of angled towards the middle, and he's angled away. The lighting does not match. Even the sharpness in the clarity of their faces and shadows do not match. Like, the black tones in his face shadows do not match the black tones in anybody else's face. And, yeah, they just chose a picture of him squinting to make it seem like, of course, you would choose a real glossy picture. You want to choose him squinting. That just further legitimizes this very real photo of Joe Biden with severed legs.
But they've
Where's
got to
Hunter?
have a picture of him in a polo. Why didn't you do that? Like, at least,
Right.
I don't know. This is ridiculous looking.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
He showed up to his Easter family gathering. Everybody else is pretty casual, and he's dressed as the president of the United States.
I'm surprised he didn't Photoshop the fucking microphone in front of his face too. Like that wasn't also there.
My name is Joe Biden, and I swear I'm still alive. Like, what do you think that means? Do you guys think that that's them trying to cover up that he's dead or in ill health? Or let's just go ahead and start the conspiracy theories now. Like, why would they put out this picture? Nobody asked, like, where was Joe Biden on Easter? They were just like, here you guys go. Here's the worst Photoshop that we could come up with to convince you guys of something. What do you think that something is?
I think someone was super into Weekend at Bernie's and like, how far can we keep this going in 2025 with like the new tech we have now? It's like, let's just keep this for fucking.
We can rebuild
train
him.
on rolling, dude. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's
We're
right.
just
Yeah,
gonna
I
come out
wonder-
in strings like a mannequin and be like, like all floppy and shit,
I
like a
can't
marionette.
believe it. Yeah, I meant best case scenario, or like, let's just be the most generous. He's still alive. Maybe he just looked like absolute shit, or maybe like I'm
he
sure
did while he
he's-
was running for president, so I doubt he's gotten any better.
There's babies there that maybe mom doesn't want to be sniffed. Maybe I think Jill hates him. I think she's probably really bitter for the past, the life that she spent with him, if I had to guess. So maybe he's just not invited. I don't know. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I live in Delaware. I think he showed up at one of the restaurants. Not
Maybe
too
he
far
was just
from
in the
here, like,
bathroom
within the
shitting
past couple weeks.
while the picture happened. And everybody's like, they got done with the picture, and everybody's like, wait, I feel like we're forgetting. Oh, former President Joe Biden. Where's Joe? Oh, he's in the bathroom, and we're getting his diaper changed or something. And like, well, we can just nobody'll care. We'll just put him in there.
They are really treating him like a child actor who doesn't want to be in acting.
Yeah.
Like they just keep pulling him in front of the camera, and he's like, "I just want to go play with my blocks," and they're like, "Shut up, Joe."
Yeah.
Like smile.
And dance.
It's like Stan Lee with Marvel, where they just keep trotting him out and dropping him up at the conventions. Like, remember, we were cool once. Yeah. And unfortunately, their Stan Lee is Joe Biden, so it's not saying a whole lot.
Man, I must have Mandela affected
Somebody
that, bro.
talking-
I could have sworn.
Something is talking in my ear. Sorry. Shut up. Okay, go ahead. I couldn't hear anything over you.
Oh
Or
no, it's
over
cool.
that.
I was wondering if you could even hear me. Yeah, I just could have sworn I remembered seeing that very same picture like a week ago with him in a sweater vest or something. I think I just must have skimmed over that, but it's
Fake news.
it's
fake
just
news.
that, bro. Everywhere.
Mhm.
Good. It is weird.
Quite weird. Now, speaking of weird, let's move on to Mr. Jeffrey Epstein, if you guys are familiar. Rep. James Comer had some thoughts on Epstein on the Benny Johnson show this past week, which has raised some controversy. Here's what James Comer had to say.
We did a little bit of a preview on the Epstein files. Obviously, that's like finding a unicorn in Washington D.C. You have come on and talked about that on this program, just for the sake of transparency, which is very big for you. And so, in closing, any motion on that, any movement on that? We hear that there's a timeline now.
I hope James has the Epstein files, because I don't think the Department of Justice has them, or at least the Attorney General does not have them, or she would have turned them over. The President ordered them released. The Attorney General ordered them released. We all know they have not been released. And one of my biggest fears that I had, and I expressed this with Kash Patel and a lot of people, Stephen Miller, and a lot of people going into the new administration. I'm like, I hope they're not shredding documents right now. This was a few weeks before.
So the main thing is that he said there that he does not believe that Pam Bondi has the files, that anybody has the files. Maybe the files don't even exist, because if Pam Bondi had the files, we would have definitely seen the files by now, especially since she said they're on my desk weeks and weeks ago, and they will be coming out soon. Now, before we comment too much, I want to get Pam Bondi's response to this, because the next day she was asked by journalists what her take was on those comments.
No. No, the FBI, the FBI, they're reviewing, there are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume, and that's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going through that. I haven't seen that statement, but I'll call him.
There's just so many things to go through that we can't release any of them at all. There's just so many. It gets longer by the week how many things we have to go through, and that's why we can't give you a name even. They're going through endless CP. The FBI is spending their days combing through CP videos on and on and on, just watching it. I guess they're just watching it because they're not putting out names from it or giving any details or information on what they have found in it. They're just watching videos of children on Epstein Island. And yeah, there's so much that we can't get any. You guys got any thoughts on this?
Who grabs the short straw to watch all the CP from the FBI? Like, whose job is that?
I feel like
fuck.
I feel like for the FBI, they're probably all fighting over it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty obvious. We're never getting these. Like you said, Dan. Like, one name would have came out for sure by now. Like Tom Hanks, whatever. I don't know, somebody. It's just like
hypothetically,
somebody out
just,
there. Allegedly. I'm not saying definitely Tom Hanks, but someone of that nature to be like, well, we have him on video, molesting a child, so get him.
Yeah,
like they're pretty easily available to get. Like, right. Go to any fucking celebrity event and grab 3/4 of the room. I'm sure they've been there.
Yep.
I don't think we're ever getting them. Like, even the JFK files, when they finally got released, that was kind of bullshit too, right? Like, and I don't think it's as big of a deal as the Epstein files, honestly. Like, I think that's a step below the Epstein files. So we're never getting them. We just got conned like fucking cucks. We're the cucks in this situation.
Sure. We got Ross Ulbricht. We did get that. So there's that.
That is something.
Epstein is not going to be. I don't know. We're going to get to a couple things on Trump a little bit later on whether Trump is stupid or smart or evil. But Dave, what do you think on this Epstein thing? As many have pointed out, all these people, the Kash Patels, the RFK Juniors, the Donald Trumps, have all made their name at least getting elected this go around based off of things like releasing the Epstein files or ending wars and whatnot. And now we're at this point months in, and our big excuse is that there's too much of it. We had years and years and years and years and years for the FBI to go through these files. I don't know what we were doing all that time, but now we've just now decided that we're going to go through it, and it's taking too long. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, and everybody, I'm kind of impressed with, the independent media, if you want to call it that, still pushing this. That's kind of encouraging, white pilling. But dude, Virginia Giuffre was just fucking murdered. Like the number one witness, by the way, James O'Keefe just put out an hour ago. Prince Andrew was fucking underage girls. Here's the tape of the royal advisor, spilling all the beans to James O'Keefe. So this was the guy that she was suing, stopped suing the royal family, then got hit by a bus, then offed herself, right? So nobody's asking any questions about that. If only Virginia Giuffre was in law enforcement. You ever see what happens if a cop gets popped? They will, all the bells and whistles, you will hear about it for weeks and weeks and weeks and months and annually about that death. But instead, everybody who cares so much about the Epstein files isn't like, yo, your number one witness was just murdered. What are you doing about that? What are you doing to protect the other witnesses so we can actually see some justice? Because, we know I'm sure Tom Hanks is on there. And, the guy from House of Cards. And, I'm sure we'll see these same names. Bill Clinton's on there 40 times. We fucking know. Yeah. Anybody who's been paying attention. But, I'd like to see some justice instead of just, demanding answers.
Absolutely.
Dave, you're just spouting conspiracy theories about very, very, very public child molestation victim who then obviously gets hit by a bus and kills herself. That's like super common, Dave. I don't know why you would say otherwise.
Happens all the time.
We're really not concerned with that.
Now you gotta.
Yeah, that was a weird post. She had like the picture of her like in a. But by the way, you guys see that picture of her like laying in a hospital bed, like with like all the bruises on her face? She's like, I have 4 days to live. You guys seen that, right?
I have
know what I'm talking about? She put out a post before she died where she had like bruising on her face, and it looked like she was like laying like sideways in a hospital bed, but there was like nothing hooked up to her. She had like no like tubes, no gauze, no anything, and she, like, I have 4 days left to live. They said, which also weird. If you get hit by a bus, you have 4 days left to live, and they tell you that. Like that's like nothing adds up. And she looked dead in the fucking picture already. Like they just propped her up on the bed and like take this bitch's picture, pass her off as alive, and for another week, and then fucking we'll call it. It was super creepy.
Fuck. Yeah, so we're never getting those files. That's the moral of that story.
I'd say so. I'm not holding my breath. Now, if you are like under any sort of watch for any this stuff, you gotta be protected. You gotta protect yourself. And speaking of being protected, today's episode is brought to you by Sheath Underwear. Sheath Underwear, guys, prepare to revolutionize your undercarriage with Sheath's patented dual pouch technology. It's like your boys get their own VIP lounge, one compartment for the wand, another for the jewels.
So whether you're sprinting through life or just trying to keep things chill, Sheath's moisture-wicking, breathable fabric keeps you feeling like you're on permanent vacation from the swamp, bros.
So go now to sheathunderwear.com and use the promo code SYSTEM at checkout. Say hello to the sweet, sweet breeze of freedom. Don't settle for less. Choose underwear engineered for your boys at sheathunderwear.com. Once again, promo code SYSTEM. Yes, we are sellouts and whores. Shut up. Anyway, back to Adam. Now, let's talk about shouting racial slurs at children. Maybe I should take down the sponsor before I say things like that. Let's talk about shouting racial slurs at children. I'm sure you're all very familiar with this story by now. The lady, Shiloh something or other, was on a playground and some allegedly autistic black young lad decided to rummage through. This is all alleged. None of this is in the video. This is just what word is around town on the internet. The boy was rummaging through her stuff in like a diaper bag or something, and then she called him a naughty word. Very, very naughty word. The naughtiest of all words. Very naughty word. Here's what happened.
Did you call him a nigger, the child?
The fuck you talking
Did you
about?
call the child the nigger word? It is my own business. You call him a nigger? Okay, why don't you have the boss say that again?
Nigger.
Okay.
Nigger.
All right, that's what you say.
You don't go digging through people's shit, you dumb fuck.
Nobody dig into your shit.
A little fucking kid just did, you dumbass.
That little kid, you call him a nigger?
Yeah.
The little child?
What if he acts like one, he's gonna
Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
My son, stop.
So that gives you the right to call the child, 5-year-old, a nigger, the N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act
That's
like.
what you're gonna call him.
Fuck.
You know, that's a hate speech. And you can be recorded for that.
I don't give a shit.
Huh.
Fuck off.
Okay, we'll see about that, what the internet has to say about you.
Let's see what the internet does have to say about you, lady.
Yeah.
The
First
internet
of all,
is...
Dan, respond to her as our Aryan queen. That's what she is. By the way, that kid was also not 5 years old. That was like a fucking 10-year-old kid. Do you see how tall that kid was? He was not fucking 5 years old, dude.
That changes everything.
That's right. That
That's
makes
insane.
it okay.
But like my big, and I said this on my podcast on Monday night. It's like the biggest takeaway from this is why are people on a certain side of the aisle not more upset that a pedophile was at a park filming? Can we talk about that real quick?
We
What's
can.
worse?
That is also
Pedophilia?
alleged. But
Saying
yes.
a word, alleged, sure. A Somali immigrant pedo allegedly was at a park
With no kids.
filming with no kids in sight.
Uh-huh.
That's not the bigger deal. I was saying this too. I was like, imagine like talking to our ancestors. I mean, like, like early Americans, and us being like, yeah, so then some Somali immigrant like threatened a woman's life over the word. And then they were like, well, then did you find the nearest, like thing to take care of him with, and we're like, no, we just let him go, and they're like, oh, you guys are weak. It's like this shit is like fucking crazy that we're just letting that go. Like it's fucking nuts, dude. Being a alleged pedophile is way worse than saying a word to anybody, child or not. It's
not
insane.
in today's day and age. It isn't. There's one word to rule them all is worse than any offense. And yeah. Say what you want about, I don't know, the woman or the word or whatever, but it is starting to look like, or rumor has it, that the man who was there filming her was at a children's playground filming children without children of his own, and also allegedly a pedophile. So that also does not excuse the fact that this woman did call a young, allegedly autistic boy the N-word for doing a thing. I don't condone calling children racial slurs personally. I might laugh at it because it's a little bit funny, but I do think that like there's a way to conduct yourself as an adult that doesn't include calling children racial slurs no matter what they did. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little too woke, right? Or woke or something. What do you think, Dave?
Well, it's obviously terrible, but I'm not going to say it's without any comedic value. So, and no, I'd like to just kind of piggyback on what Adam was saying. Like, I did hear that report that this guy's a fucking scumbag, but I also heard people talking that they could be colluding together. They could be trying to make $1 million together. That's something to maybe consider. Look at that chick. She doesn't exactly look like trad mom of the year.
Right.
Just saying. And, yeah, I've seen, Matt Walsh's take on this, and, I know this came right after the GoFundMe for the teen murder that happened. Like,
yeah, the timing of it is a lot to do with why this is blown up so big.
Like, I feel like for years I've been hearing, we're just on the precipice of a fucking race war, dude. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't feel it in real life or even on the internet, even though there's some assholes. But for the past 3 weeks or so, I feel like, that meme with the thing poking the stick here, do a thing. Like, that's what I feel like. This feels like a coordinated effort and some psyop shit going on here. And even if it's not, it's being leveraged like one. So even if she is just a legitimate racist lady who is trying to make a come up off this on her own, fine. But like the end result is terrible, man. And I've used my favorite Spaceballs quote on here, and I'm going to use it again. Evil will always triumph because good is dumb. If you guys fall for this shit, it's just not going to help anything. And no wonder too, like this whole everybody is racist thing that we've been experiencing for so long, it can make some people just have a visceral reaction anytime somebody goes, wait, that was racist. Like, because that was actually, you shouldn't fucking do that to a child. Don't call a child a name, but like, obviously that's just terrible.
Unless they're being one.
Yeah, unless they're being one, Dave. Have you heard her?
Listen, I know. It's very, I will lose the base points for today. I don't care. I'm not calling a kid any names in the park.
But see, Dave, here's why I don't think it's a psyop. I think it's because the cultural zeitgeist in the last 20 years has been like, again, this guy was so sure that he was in the right. He knew his shit would come out, and he's still like, no, I have, a certain type of people on my side where they're going to overlook my actual heinous crimes that I have committed because, like, I'm the social justice guy, and I'm showing the white devil, like, oh, she said a naughty word. Like, yeah, no shit, you shouldn't call a child anything. But it's like, again, that's not the issue here. The issue here is the current climate where that's being overlooked, and she's being threatened. Her life is being threatened because she said a word.
Yeah.
Again, not the fucking guy who touched a child,
but it's also it's also having to do with the the zeitgeist over the last 20 years of them. But like when Dave says it's controlled in a psyop or whatever, that doesn't mean it's a recent controlled psyop. Like the entire Black Lives Matter thing was the exact same, and I don't think that was all completely organic. Sure. I understand why some of the push, like some of the donations and pushback for this I'm sure some of that is organic because of some of the stuff that's been pushed over the last 20 years, but I don't think any of it's been exactly organic. That's just my tinfoil hat. Though.
Another thing too, just to go against like I feel like the attack on like white culture, I guess in general, is the Give Send Go guy, like whoever runs it, CEO, whoever the fuck. For a month, the Carmelo Anthony thing was about a month ago, about 3 weeks, whatever, give or take. And have you seen the comments for his like fundraiser? It was like blatantly like kill white people. Like people were putting that like in the thing, and he let it go.
Right.
Hers, after a day and a half, he shuts the comments off to both of them, being like, "Well, we don't."
It's not what we're talking about. Let's not look at that.
Racism.
No. Yeah.
And it's like, well, you let this motherfuckers go for a month, and you didn't say shit about kill whitey.
I heard that guy's policy. They have two things that they don't do. They don't fundraise for abortions, and they don't fundraise for transitioning kids. So that's pretty good. I'll take that just like as a matter of speech.
Didn't he shut Kyle Rittenhouse down back when that happened too?
Maybe. Look into that. Yeah, but that's what I heard him just say. And I don't want to defend Give Send Go. And I happen to share some of your sentiment, and even that of like Matt Walsh, who will like have like, I want to have difficult conversations. I do find it ridiculous that there are words that some people can say and not, and if you say it this way or in this context or whatever, then maybe it's tolerated. This is all fucking gay. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
But you have to have a certain amount of like cool in the room before you can have that conversation. So when I just see this kind of shit, like it, and I said it last week, dude, this feels like on a large level, what happens like in a police state, what would happen? Prison rules happen. You go to your racial corner and that's it. That's you have no choice. That's where you go in prison, right? So they have to divide you like that. And I feel like it really feels pulled, man. Again, I grew up in the 90s, man. Black and white relations were pretty tits tight. You know what I mean? Not perfect, but, getting better all the time. And I feel like this is definitely some poking and prodding going on here. And it sucks that it's like, oh, do you see this campaign where this guy did something to a white kid? Fuck that. We're going to help this racist bitch who did something to a black kid. It's just, this is not good for humanity. So like I can empathize with sides.
You can also understand the outrage when you're comparing a kid that stabbed a kid to a woman who, said a word that people didn't
It's a vicious double standard that exists that the three people on the show, we fucking know that exists.
Yeah.
We know that exists. So if we want to fight that, we should, there are ways to do it without going, well, look what they did to the whites.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like that won't get you far.
But what is the counterpart? Like, because like, I mean, I am kind of getting sick of seeing all this. I know a lot of it is also social media, Dave, to your credit, like, or your point, where it's like, a lot of this doesn't exist in real life. You know, it is really like an online phenomena, but even online phenomena, it's like, it does get annoying just to see like the blatant, like, they're like, yeah, fuck you for being white. And you're like, well, I can't say that. Like, why is it okay? So it's like,
you know what, man? I've been working so hard on becoming a good anti-Semite that I haven't really been paying attention to the race war. So I should have to, I'll do more research. But no, it's just it's terrible because this affects me here, and I live in a very diverse area. So I don't want to go outside.
Dave has black friends.
Yeah, there's all kinds of colors around here.
Get him. No.
I just, but in real life, it's not, everything is chill, but lots of people go online. So I don't want I want there to be cultural cohesion around me. And like, I feel like this is a definite prodding. Like, I don't want to walk into a place and somebody thinks that I'm just, I bet you that guy donated to that bitch. Like, I don't fucking care. That's the psyop, whether it's planned or not. It's like somebody's gonna snap on this shit. It's already awful. And fundraising also
somebody snapping. I mean, there's been a few snaps.
When it usually comes to this kind of stuff, like if it was an isolated thing, even when that kid was killed a couple weeks ago, black kid kills white kid, I didn't pay attention to that much because I knew that was just going to be an energy suck, not just like, and man, it was a lot bigger than I thought. And this piggyback on top of it's made it a lot worse. But man, it feels like such a distraction and such a irritation to the races. And yeah, to your point though, Adam, I don't know what the answer is though, man. Like the onslaught that, you know, cis white males have received for the past decade and change. You know, I'm not trying to play victim here. I'm definitely not a victim, but like.
But if you feel like supporting a couple of white guys, be sure to like, share, and subscribe this episode on all your favorite platforms. All right.
That's right. Hell, please donate.
That's right.
Sorry. Go ahead.
It's all good. Fake super chat from P Nord. We need to get through a few of these. Perry says it's fantastic. You're having on Hack Comics again. That's not nice.
Hey, everybody.
Where would you ever get an idea like that? The Biblical Anarchy podcast says, fake super chat, I'll forgive not getting the Epstein files if Trump bans Adam Nutter from ever doing what he calls comedy ever again. Thank you. Thank you, chats. Just to be clear, I have not read any of these before. I'm reading all these in real time. I'm just pulling them up. So
Jacob supports CP over me doing comedy. Everybody, you heard it here first. You guys should unsubscribe to his podcast right now.
Adam, I'd be in the chats if I were you. Fake super chat. Fuck all you guys.
Let's see what else we got here. From the Biblical Anarchy podcast, fake super chat. Adam Nutter can't use sheath. They don't have a pouch small enough. Dang. Fire. No one at all says fake super chat. Two things can be true at once. Both deplorable humans doing this in front of children. Have you seen her prom pic? Her date was a black dude. Yeah. And
also, that wasn't true though. That wasn't.
No?
That was like a fake. Yeah, that was fake.
Okay.
Who knows on the internet these days? But there is something to also the grifters that are using this stuff, like the Lily, whatever her name is, chick. I don't even remember her name, but
yeah. I know
she
you're talking about.
said like a soft N-word on like a cooking video and then got blown up, and now she's like a political pundit. I've got one of her latest videos here. This is like, to me, this is just somebody grifting, trying to be hip and edgy because that's where things are at right now. And I don't like whatever you think about race wars and not race wars. This is just stupid.
I love the blacks being like, "Oh, we're gonna get a race war." If there was a race war, you wouldn't win. Okay. First of all, you might have plenty of guns, but you don't know how to shoot them. You think this is how you shoot guns. You think this is how you shoot a pistol. That's not. I know you saw that in a movie and you thought it looked cool. And you saw your favorite fucking rapper doing that, but that's not how you aim and shoot a gun. The only reason blacks have not exterminated themselves in the hood, because black on black violence is insane and through the roof, is because they're such horrible shots. So you really think you're gonna beat a duck hunter who shoots ducks for a living, for fun, on his free time and doesn't miss? Really, nigga? I shot a water.
Just throw it in there for the flavor. Yeah.
Did you see her on Piers Morgan?
I did. I have that here too.
Yeah, I did.
We feel like it. I like the
great.
one dude's response more than her stuff. But
right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the victim of his word. Don't you let her say it.
Yeah,
we'll go ahead and pull it up.
Shut up.
Yeah. Again, you're right. That is ridiculous. An absolute ridiculous premise, and it's annoying. I just,
Yeah, it's like, well, if there is a race war, which I'm currently stoking by making this video intentionally because I know it gets me clicks, if there is one, then we're gonna win because you guys don't know how to use guns, but black on black violence is so high. Like, what? It can't, what? What do you mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Are they just all misfiring and killing each other? It can't be both. Like, they're bad with guns, but also they keep shooting each other. Is
man.
Two things that she's saying simultaneously.
Yes, the hood is predominantly black and has the most violence in it. But can we agree that that chick was cunty and not cool and not funny?
Yes. And also,
yeah, no, Dave. Yeah.
I don't know
Sorry,
if you put up a gang member who holds his gun sideways against a white hillbilly duck hunter, who do you think is going to win? I mean, the duck hunter, if he's got a sniper rifle from a distance, maybe. But if we're just talking about a shootout here, a hunter versus a thug who's used to pulling a gun on people, I think the duck hunter is not going to fare as well in the race war as Lily would have you believe.
The thing with her is, like you said, like by the way, she's a very mid chick, but there's a lot of online dudes who can't get laid and like, dude, she's hot.
She said the N-word, she's hot.
It's like, yeah, that's it. That's what it is. She's a mid blonde white chick that is just combing the dollar or stealing the dollar,
cashing in
lonely other dudes. Yeah,
we've seen a lot of those in the libertarian movement too.
Oh, for sure. Like that's the thing. It's like it's not like she has like any cool original takes or anything interesting. Where I'm like, oh, I never actually heard that before. She's just saying shit that me and my friends say to each other to be funny, but she's like kind of serious and just trying to grift the fucking like lonely dude epidemic. You know, that's all it is.
Absolutely. I'll go ahead and play this Piers Morgan clip. There were a few things. She was on there with the dude from Fresh and Fit and two other, a black dude whose name I don't know, and some white chick. But this is the part that we were referencing.
You've had a bit of time to think about this. Is that how you want people to leave this panel debate, with thinking of you as a disgusting racist?
I don't really care what people think about me. As long as you care about what people think about you, you have no power and you lose your country. What I care about is freedom of speech. And if you're not allowed to say the most offensive things in this country, you do not have freedom of speech. I don't care what anybody says. So that's the main crux of this situation. That's what I care about with this situation. It is, we have lived for far too long in a country where you can have your life destroyed. And people say, oh, she doesn't need this money. Her life's destroyed, by the way. She'll never be able to get another job. She's what they want. Unashamedly, and you will
well, go
not
on then,
have
say it. Say
you
the
will
M-
not have
go on,
free
say
speech.
go on, say the M word. Go on.
I'm
No.
not
Don't invite. No. I don't want you to invite this woman to say a racially harmful term in front of me, because I'm the only on here. So if she says it, I'm the victim of it. So please don't invite her for ratings to call me the N-word, because that's basically what it's going to be. There's a bunch of white people up here. You and one Uncle Tom on the left.
Say
here,
it. There
and
you go.
Ask her to say the N-word while I'm here is ridiculous. You would not sit here with a Jewish person and say, please use a Jewish slur in front of this Jewish. It's ridiculous. I understand you don't have any bad intent, Piers. I understand what you're trying to do. But we already know she's racist, and I don't want to invite a racial harm to me.
I hear you.
Bro, chill.
You will not do to me, and you will not let it come into the word to me.
It's like he didn't even realize what Piers Morgan was doing. Like, Piers Morgan is like, you say the N-word? She's like, yes. When do you say the N-word? Whenever I want. She said, I'm getting my accents mixed up. And he's like, well, go ahead and say the N-word right now. Like, what Piers Morgan was trying to do, even though it was kind of stupid to try and do that on, public broadcasting or whatever, but he was trying to set her up to get her even further canceled. And then the guy's like, no, don't cancel her. No, focus on me. Because it will be a racial attack against him as a black man if a woman uttered the N-word just into the ether, not directed at anybody. It would be a racial attack against him if it were said, because he's on a panel of white people and one Uncle Tom because the other black dude doesn't agree with him.
There was a lot of things to take away from that video. It's like one of them being like, he acted like an emotional woman. First of all, that was crazy. That was such a fucking spurg out, dude. It's like, calm the fuck down. You're a man. Act like a fucking. He was literally going like, like literally doing like a toddler, dude. Like that was insane. So that's one. Two, I agree with her in the sense of like, don't apologize. Even if you're wrong nowadays, don't apologize to the mob. Because they don't really want your forgiveness. They want you to bend the knee and they'll still fucking execute you. Like you get nothing out of it, So it's like, even if, again, agree, disagree, whatever, fuck you. I'm not apologizing. In fact, I will double down because you're just going to fucking try to get me anyway. It doesn't matter. Like there's no repentance. There's nothing anymore with this fucking certain side. So like she is right in that sense where like, yeah, I wouldn't apologize either. I would just let it fucking fire from the hip at that point. I'm already in a corner. Fuck it. What are you going to do?
I mean, she's obviously not going to apologize. She's like quadrupled down on it. So she's obviously not going to apologize. Okay, my camera's gone. Fuck.
And then Piers also, my other point is we fought 2 wars to not listen to the English. So shut the fuck up. I don't care what you have to say. It's like.
Let me ask you guys this.
That's my take on that whole thing.
We can all agree. I'd like to start with some common ground. I think his name's Lamont Hill. I'm not sure. He's a CNN guy.
Yeah, it is.
He's a bitch. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Right? An absolute, like, he's exposed for being a woman. Just like you said. Dude. So if you were on that show and your goal was to, like, shatter his worldview and anybody who thought that Lamont Hill had anything valid to say, you wanted to destroy that. Would you have more luck? Would you win more people over by going, what a stupid N-word? Or, man, you just came across like a fucking woman, dude. Like a bitch. Did you see yourself? Like, I'm just saying, because that's true. You can say that and you can destroy that man if that's your goal. But to just, and you know, that chick's probably making a lot of money and firing a lot of people up. But what's it helping? Is it helping? Like, that's all I guess I'm trying to get at. That guy sucks. His whole worldview sucks. He's a stupid, you know, throwing in the black struggle with the communist struggle with, and then the only other POC on the stage is an Uncle Tom, right? Like, you've just been exposed for a total piece of shit. You don't stand for anything. Your character sucks and you're a bitch. Like that should be enough without having to go and drop that hard R. I don't know, man.
No, you're not wrong. My whole point was like with the apology thing or like whatever. It's like just there's no apologizing to the mob. Like you're
right
can't.
about that.
Again, nowadays you cannot. That's done. Like you can. As I said, wrong, right, doesn't matter. You can't do it. But you are right. If she was like, "You're a fucking woman, dude," that would have definitely hit hard for sure.
Yeah. Say the N-word. Say the N-word on the air, Adam. Say it. Go on. You've admitted yourself an avowed racist. Go on, say it.
When is it? I mean, I don't know if you guys use that word terribly, maybe on comedy or maybe in your real life. I don't know.
I use it on a like hourly basis, just for
semi-regular. When is it appropriate?
Say it every chance I get it. No.
I'm not saying it's never appropriate, but I wouldn't like just get it if I was in like, you know, a conversation and had like an argument. I wouldn't just throw that out. If I was getting my house robbed, like somebody was like,
you know, Adam's the former cop here, but Dave's like, y'all say the N-word, right? We all say the N-word. When do you say the N-word most?
I don't know.
We're all cool here.
No, listen, this is a true story. When I lived in Philly as a kid, and I started school at I don't know if it was predominantly black, but a lot of black kids, and it was a culture shock at first. And I heard that word at age 6 for the first time, and came home with one of my like white friends, and we're like playing like game in the living room, and we were, you know, just 2 kids, but I'm like, oh, we need like team names for whatever we're playing, ping pong or something, and can't remember what he said, and I was like, you're the, and I said, you're that, you're the N-words to this kid. My mom came out, dude, from the kitchen, and she never hit me, but slapped the shit out of me. So maybe that's why I have such an aversion to that word today.
She just hit me really hard.
That one time I got it good for dropping a hard
and slap your hand for being super fucking awesome. She's like, good job.
She slapped the shit out of my open palm.
Yeah, it was a beautiful. I mean, I heard the word from black kids. You know what I mean? Just throwing that word around. So I just didn't understand that. You know, there's barriers there. But I don't know. That's why I'll call anybody. I'll drop the F word. I'll drop the C word. I don't give a fuck. Like I'm, and if you need to use it, man, I'm just saying, use it. Just like the C word.
Make it count. Is what he's saying. Make it count.
Don't throw that around willy nilly, man. Like, you know, reserve your power. You got to like really, I don't know, reserve that.
I feel like we could continue this conversation, but I think leaving Dave there with all that is a good place to jump to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back after this.
Hey there, do you like shirts? Of course you do. Well, get a load of these shirts from dissidentshop.com. Your one-stop shop for all the latest designs that will make your friends go, oh, wow. That guy is so based, I want to be his friend during the apocalypse. Go to dissidentshop.com and wear the dissidents you want to see in the world.
Have you or a loved one been injured by some fuck nuggets, reckless driving, a tumble at your shitty job, or some other form of dumb shit outside of your control? Well, fear not, because today's episode is sponsored by a lawyer. Lone Star Injury Attorneys is an award-winning personal injury law firm that achieves maximum results for its injured clients. Max the Axe is not just a lawyer, but a hardcore Mises Caucus libertarian and also a big supporter of this show and all of our bullshit. Max is the best personal injury lawyer in Texas, but don't judge him by his occupation or location. Max is an avid defender of liberty and justice in whatever state you got fucked in. If you've been injured and your ass needs saving, go with the pros at Lone Star Injury Attorneys. Visit lonestarinjuryattorneys.com or Google Max the Axe. Consultations are free and you don't pay a single dime unless you win. Once again, go to lonestarinjuryattorneys.com and get your ass covered. And we're back. All of us are back, and there's confetti. Boom. Yep, there it is, because we're having a party. A race party. Did you guys have any other thoughts on that? If not, we can move on to Trump. Is he smart or dumb? But don't want to rush the race war or anything. I know everybody else is trying to do that.
That was it.
All right.
I do have to leave in like 5 minutes. I got to get here in like 5 minutes.
Lame. Oh, so you meant 7 o'clock your time, not real time.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, bro. I don't consider anything not Eastern time real time. I already went over that.
All right.
Does it exist? Right. I don't care. It doesn't affect me.
Well, then let's talk about Trump. Trump had a few statements going on this week, and I feel like we had such a strong start verbally with Trump, and now it's just a daily facepalm with the guy, but this is one of the latest. He said, "The movie industry in America is dying a very fast death. Other countries are offering all sorts of incentives to draw our filmmakers and studios away from the United States. Hollywood and many other areas within the USA are being devastated. This is a concerted effort by other nations and therefore a national security threat. It is in addition to everything else, messaging and propaganda. Therefore, I am authorizing the Department of Commerce and the United States Trade Representative to immediately begin the process of instituting a 100% tariff on any and all movies coming into our country that are produced in foreign lands. We want movies made in America again." And to that I say, what? Because we've got all the movies.
I get kind of what he's saying.
The vast majority of movies, like our biggest export, is, after children being sex trafficked, our biggest export is movies and entertainment, and we make all the movies. They all are trash. And for Donald Trump to be like, all these other foreign nations are pushing propaganda on the American people. It's like, have you watched the American movies? What are these foreign movies that you guys have seen, the big blockbuster movies that are the foreign films that are pushing hard propaganda on the American people more than Disney or any of the millions of others?
Right. No, and that's first of all, I think he was I may be receiving this wrong, but you know how like California is like, it's super expensive to shoot like anything, or New York is like super expensive to shoot, and they film a lot in Vancouver and shit to like get around the taxes. I think that maybe what he was talking about, like stop doing that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, he's dead wrong on the foreign influence. You're 100% right on the inner influence. Like everything is shit because it's all wrote by fucking retards. So it's like, and again, just like small things that are recent, like Snow White movie, The Last of Us, like everything. I am such an old curmudgeon man now when I watch, like I can't watch new shit because immediately I'm like, how far into this show are they going to say something that's going to piss me off, or I'm just going to stop watching this show?
Conclave. It takes 2.5 hours, but they get there.
Shit. It's always some sort of troon shit, some fucking like some gay character for no reason, has nothing to do with the storyline. Just has to be like, oh, and I'm gay, and I'm like, okay, but why? How's it influence the story at all? And it's like, oh, it doesn't. And I'm like, cool.
Good character development.
It's like
born gay is gay, and that's the most interesting thing.
Right. It's just so much, and I'm like, oh, right, this sucks. I'm not gonna watch this. And I just fucking tune my brain out. I mean, it's like the fucking cunt who ruined Star Wars, Kathleen Kennedy. You know, like she fucking ruined that with just her shit and propaganda. Yeah, it's bad. So he is right, but right for the wrong reasons, I guess.
Sure. Right in that he wants, just because he wants more films made in the United States? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because that probably does help. And it's also better, probably, I would assume, for like local markets and stuff like that. Like local cities, states, and all that shit.
Libertarian of you.
Definitely the people around those states have to work. That's what I'm saying. Yep. Like they get jobs and shit. So it's like, that's cool. And but I care more about the messaging than I do about them filming in Vancouver, honestly.
Yeah. Adam, if you got to get going, we can bounce you out of here and keep going without you, unless you're not wanting to be a bitch.
No, I gotta go. My wife's gonna fight me. I gotta go.
Okay. I mean, as a former cop, you should be able to take her, you know?
Oh no, I'll fuck her up, but you know, I don't want to hear it afterwards. I don't want to. When she wakes up from the fucking coma, I put her.
I don't want her to be pissed when she wakes up with a headache. You know, it's just more complication than it's worth. Just to eat the
it's just
dinner.
more shit I gotta deal with. Just to get the
Fine.
dinner.
Go deal with your wife's abuse, and you can pardon yourself from this abuse. But where can people find you? And any final thoughts, man?
Yeah, no, it's always good seeing one of you, not so much the other one of you. Follow me at Adam Nutter on Twitter.
Silly
please, I knew it. Please, please check out my podcast to do with, again, 4 other great dudes that most of you probably know. 5 till midnight on YouTube, Rumble, every Monday night, 8 p.m. live. We just had Oren McIntyre on. For everybody who knows Oren McIntyre, that was a super great episode. Super fun, talking about the racist lady in the park. So again, follow me on Twitter and follow the podcast, and I'll let you guys know when I'm back doing stand-up because I'm healed again from my injury. So yay. And,
He'll let y'all know when he's
Jacob.
done writing jokes that don't suck. Yeah, then he'll be right back.
No, I won't.
Getting his jokes off Fiverr. Cool, man.
All right.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, boys, for having me. Appreciate it.
See you, man. All right, let's get him out. Thank God. Holy shit. All right. Continuing on with some Trump news. First off, David, did you have any thoughts? I don't think we got too many thoughts of yours on that whole deal. What do you think about Trump getting rid of the foreign propaganda that has leaked its way into our modern society in America?
Right. It's not that it's going to be, he's not banning anything though. It's just going to cost more. So this is one of those things that I don't like. I'm not sure how much I'll be affected by this. Maybe my fucking Netflix subscription will go up. I don't know. Like, what will that mean for me? Especially when like AI is going to take over and make all of our movies in the next 5 years. So this seems kind of silly. It seems like a weird place to focus, but probably about the propaganda, probably about containing messaging and global dominance.
But what propaganda is actually even coming in through movies? I don't know of any that like.
Well,
any foreign
I don't
films
watch. That's
that
what I'm saying. This doesn't bother me because I only watch American films. I'm very nationalistic like that. I don't give
Sure.
If I'm watching the Oscars, which I'm not, but if I was and the foreign film section came up, I would absolutely go watch something different until that was
So
over.
what you're saying is that problem is not very great because it hasn't even gotten its way to you.
Yeah, I don't. That's what I'm saying. First, they came for the foreign films, and I said nothing. You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, moving on to Trump and the dolls. Did you see the dolls clip where he's talking about the tariffs, Dave? Yep. Such a beautiful moment, and this again brings me to my question: is he smart or is he dumb? Or is he dumb or is he evil? I don't really know what to make of the man anymore. Actually, we should probably read a couple fake super chats here before we get to that. Fake super chat: it's because as a country we only care about protecting children in theory. Okay. The Biblical Anarchy Podcast says, fake super chat, it's just dumb all ways around. She shouldn't be threatened. She also doesn't need $1 million, and also the guy filming isn't a hero, and also the right is being played. I tend to agree with that. And also, he says, fake super chat, I think we used to have better psyops. They're all fake and gay. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. All right, now, Trump and the dolls. Let's see. This is Trump's math, Trump's logic, Trump's what have you on tariffs and how they're affecting not just our politics, but our children.
Said this week, got a lot of attention. You were at your cabinet meeting. You said, quote, I'm going to quote what you said, maybe the children will have 2 dolls instead of 30 dolls.
Yeah.
And maybe the 2 dolls will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally. Are you saying that your tariffs will cause some prices to go up?
No, I think the tariffs are going to be great for us because it's going to make us rich.
But you said some dolls are going to cost more. Isn't that an acknowledgement that some prices will go up?
I don't think a
Pause it.
beautiful baby girl.
Notice this guy. The answer to your question is he's a genius. The first thing he says is, no, the tariffs are going to make us rich.
Right.
Who are you talking about?
Right.
Like as if the people, capital T, capital P, the people are going to get some rebate.
Right.
This is he's personally not enriching himself from this. And he might be actually through his investments or whatever. But the government is going to get any revenue, any and all revenue. And you think that you're going to get, the income tax like taken away because he's got so much money coming in from tariffs. It's like, please, this is why he is a genius, is because he can take things that suck and just say either nothing or straight up like pivot or
such a
even
hard
lie.
pivot. Like all of this is such a pivot. It's like
incredible.
No, it's not going to cost people more. But you said it's going to cost people more. Well, yeah, but it's going to cost China more. Like it's all just pivot. That's all his answer is here. And yeah, he is a genius in his negotiating because he can just bullshit his way through literally anything. Whereas we've seen like Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, especially Kamala Harris, if she got asked a tough question, it was just melt down and talk in circles. Donald Trump does. I mean, it's not word salad, but I don't know. There's something about it. His ability to just spin it back around on you.
It's magic. When he comes out and goes, no, the tariffs are going to make us rich. He didn't go into some policy wonk bullshit or like flub his words. He goes, the tariffs are going to make us rich.
Right.
I mean, that's magic, dude. He's putting a spell on people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's doing. He's the best at it I've ever seen.
Indeed. And it's black magic because this is complete and utter bullshit that he makes sound like something.
Girl that's 11 years old needs to have 30 dolls. I think they can have 3 dolls or 4 dolls because what we were doing with China was just unbelievable. We had a trade deficit of hundreds of billions of
And therefore
dollars
your
with
child
China.
only needs 2
When
dolls.
you say they could have $3 instead of $30, are you saying
they don't need to have
Americans
$30.
could see empty store shelves?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they don't need to have 30 dolls. They can have 3. They don't need to have 250 pencils. They can have 5.
It's so stupid. So you're saying it's going to cost more for dolls? No, we're going to be rich. But it's going to cost more for dolls, right? No, people don't need that many dolls. But why don't they need that many? Well, because you've seen what we did with China. I don't know. And also, for Donald Trump to be like, you don't need that much. Our kids today, they're spoiled. They're spoiled rich kids, all of them. What kid needs more than 2 dolls at a time? As I sit on my literal golden toilet with my name plastered on every building that I own in the country, which is much more than anybody else has. For Donald Trump to be like, little girls don't need more than 2 dolls. And also, like, I have my name on everything from steak to water to toilets to universities that failed, and Donald fucking Trump. The man is only known for his extravagance and his self-absorption. But because it will hurt China, these damn spoiled kids don't need more than a couple dolls. And that is assuming that the kids can currently afford the 4 dolls. And will only be able to afford the 3, as opposed to the kids who were really happy that they could afford a doll and can now not afford a doll. Like, it's just, it's so fucking gross to, I don't know. There's been so many issues that we've had with him over the last couple weeks, but this one in particular, it's like, you've never been poor in your entire fucking life, and you're like, well, it's not going to hurt, but if it does hurt, it's fine because we deserve it and we can handle it and you guys are spoiled out there. It's like, who? Who is spoiled? Donald Trump? Which one of these kids is spoiled because the economy is so booming right now? Any thoughts, Dave?
We can't forget that this is the guy who a couple weeks ago was having a really good time with the word groceries. This is what we're calling them. They're called groceries, okay? You go out and you put some things in the bag. Mm-hmm. Groceries. Don't forget that. He is the pitch man. That's what he does. It's not that he really understands these concepts. He has people that explain them to him in layman's terms, and then he runs it through the Trump filter and then gives it to his base or the rest of America too. But now that he has the trust built up in his base, he can come out and he can sell austerity measures that, Jeb Bush could never do. Or Hillary Clinton could never do. He can sell the idea
that
that
love poverty. We're gonna be so rich.
To compete with China, you're gonna have to go out with less stuff. And he's playing on the fact,
and be happy,
right?
You didn't need a thing.
that is the way that is always been the North Star, and he's selling it better. He's selling it better. Like, it is true at the same time that, hey man, maybe we do have too much of a consumeristic, disposable culture. Maybe kids by and large are spoiled. So that's all politics. He's playing into that real thing that in the culture. I'm sure many boomers and Gen Xers think that kids today, are spoiled.
Sure.
So you can play on that. You can exploit that. And he's doing it masterfully. And but again, to compete with China. That's what it's always been about. We always had to compete with China, and somebody has to sell how we do it. It's going to hurt. So how do you make it feel better? Trump.
Yeah. Absolutely. Salesman, conman, whatever you want to call him. He's selling it well, and unfortunately the boomers are eating it up, be it Israel or you don't need that many dolls. Everybody's, I mean, if you were in the cult, then, and again, it's coming from two guys that begrudgingly finally voted for him for the first time this go around, and we had high hopes and were very excited, wanted him to succeed, and it's just getting worse every day, it seems like. And like, I mean, it's not like we're necessarily feeling it in our day-to-day personal lives. We're not Democrats here or scared of the price of eggs or whatever, but when you say dumb shit, if you're not willing to call him on his dumb shit, you're in a fucking cult. And I don't know. That's on you. Okay, let's give a little bit of a flashback here. Donald Trump in January 29th, 2024, so this is early last year, Donald Trump said, "This is the Trump stock market because my polls against Biden are so good that investors are projecting that I will win, and that will drive the market up. Everything else is terrible. Watch the Middle East. And record-setting inflation has already taken its toll. Make America great again." So the stock market started climbing when Trump was going in. And as we all know, the stock market has not been doing nearly as well since Trump has been in. And more recently, Donald Trump said this: "This is Biden's stock market, not Trump's. I didn't take over until January 20th. Tariffs will soon start kicking in, and companies are starting to move into the USA in record numbers. Our country will boom, but we have to get rid of the Biden overhang. This will take a while. It has nothing to do with tariffs." He put that in all caps. Nothing to do with that thing that everybody said would cause the stock market to go up. Only that he left us with bad numbers. That's the only thing. Joe Biden left us with bad numbers. But when the boom begins, it will be like no other. Be patient. Trust the plan. He didn't say that, but you get the idea. So January 29th, before he gets in, it is because of him that the stock market is booming. But now, fast forwarding to April 30th, 2025, it is now Biden's fault all of a sudden that the stock market is crashing, which, I don't know, makes me think that, I mean, we've seen all these tactics from every president or incumbent president or anything, but there's something about the way Donald Trump does it just so flagrantly, just like, obviously it's this, and then now it's obviously the opposite of that. If it was Donald Trump's doing going into the White House, I mean, he kind of shot himself in the foot. He can't really use the "it's Biden's economy" held over excuse now that he was like, well, it's booming because of me. Well, now you already drew that line between your economy and Biden's economy, and it was over a year ago, and now it's less good and it's Biden's fault. Go fuck yourself. Any thoughts, Dave?
I mean, he's closer on the more recent tweet, but he will always, of course, say whatever it takes. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So he's definitely has a history of that. But the economy we're in right now is the Trump-Biden economy. Like, you were there for that. You put the $6 trillion into the economy. You devalued all the dollars in everybody's bank account. So you did that. And then Biden put another, 5 or 7 on top of that. So fuck both of you guys. And it is yet to, like, the tariffs, if they're affecting the stock market, it's because of, like Elon can make a tweet and affect the stock market. Like, yeah, that's people are going to be scared, or they're going to think it's great. And I'll move some money around. But I don't know if, again, talk to somebody who's more in tune with the economics, but I don't think that that's causing economic devastation right now. The tariffs, they could, I don't know, but I don't think that's what we're experiencing right now.
We shall see. I don't know. I just know that Donald Trump's full of shit, and I wish he wasn't. I genuinely wish that he would go back to what he sold us all on, which is on us. We all knew Donald Trump's a good salesperson, and he played the part real well for a hot minute there, just long enough to get our vote. But, I think we're going to hold over. I did want to talk about the woke right, James Lindsay, Jordan Peterson, Matt Walsh, and all of that. I think we're going to push that all back to the after party, and the after party title that is coming up any minute now on the Patreon is incorrect. It is incorrect. There is no Adam Nutter, and we're not talking about robots in the after party. We'll just talk about robots now, because that's going to be a shorter wrap-up to this, and we will save James Lindsay's struggle session and Jordan Peterson's their mutual struggle session about the woke right for the after party. For now, I wanted to get your thoughts, Dave, on oh shoot, where is it? Where? Oh no, I pulled up the wrong.
I'm a robot. I have a robot vagina.
Well, let's watch Mark Zuckerberg first, because Mark Zuckerberg, speaking of robots, had some thoughts on the future of humanity and interaction with friends, as he calls them. Let's see where we're going.
I think as the personalization loop kicks in and the AI just starts to get to know you better and better, I think that will just be really compelling. One thing just from working on social media for a long time is there's the stat that I always think is crazy. The average American, I think it's fewer than 3 friends. 3 people that they'd consider friends. And the average person has demand for meaningfully more. I think it's like 15 friends or something, right? I guess there's probably some point where you're like, all right, I'm just too busy. I can't deal with more people. But the average person wants more connectivity, connection than they have. So, there's a lot of questions that people ask of stuff like, okay, is this going to replace kind of in-person connections or real-life connections? And my default is that the answer to that is probably no. I think I think that there are all these things that are better about kind of physical connections when you can.
Meanwhile, we're doing this all on the internet. You and I are having this conversation. Like, yes, of course, the advancement of technology and the ability to connect people with other people digitally is going to lessen the need for interacting with people one-on-one in person. But no, it's not. As it advances and gets more ramped up and more AI integration, it probably won't obviously continue down that path of separating people from personal interaction. But yeah,
these things that are better about kind of physical connections when you can have them. But the reality is that people just don't have.
I mean, you're not going to fuck a robot, are you?
What's that?
I mean, you're not going to fuck a robot, are you? Just kidding. Facebook fuckbots coming out.
Absolutely. Metabots. Yep, it's coming. That will be where it starts. He's talked about human interaction, and I didn't even really think about that. I was thinking more along the lines of like meeting people in person. But you're right. He is also talking about people won't need people at some point. They will have robots that have the meta technology in it that can do all the things that people crave from actual human interaction.
More alone a lot of the time than they would like. So I think that a lot of these things that today there might be a little bit of a stigma around.
Sex bots.
I would guess that over time we will find the vocabulary as a society to be able to articulate why that is valuable and why the people who are doing these things are like why they are rational for doing it and how it is adding value for their.
Yeah.
The whole setup with tolerance and tolerating all the LGB, then it was LGBT, LGBTQ, LGBTQIA+, all this shit, this whole progression has been all leading to acceptance of AI love. and
LGB.
AI.
Wait, hold on. LGBTQAI plus. What is the AI
Oh
plus?
shit!
No,
Oh,
we all thought it meant like asexual and I don't know, interspecies or whatever the fuck. But
That's artificial intelligence. Artificial
Yeah.
intelligence plus. Yep. They're gonna set that up. They're gonna
It's
give
already
rights.
baked into the name. They're ready for it. The branding is already set in stone.
Yep, they're gonna give rights to robots, and you're gonna see robot marriages because it's quality.
Also, Zuckerberg doesn't usually wear glasses. We've seen him like change up his style and stuff, and he's more conservative, and he wears gold chains and goes on surfing trips now. But these glasses, they look like they're, I don't know, they're Google Glass or Meta
Recording
Glass or
somebody?
something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I don't trust him just based on the glasses alone, let alone the nose. But that's a different
He's
thing.
definitely reading stuff. He's reading a script in his glasses.
Probably, or he's getting fed something, or he's filming something, or what have you. But I don't know. If I saw this dude in these glasses out in public, I'd be like, "Are you filming me, bro?" Meanwhile, like all while he is talking about this, well, humans need more interaction. They need AI interaction
for their lives, but also I think that the field is very early. So, I mean, it's like I think there are a handful of companies and stuff who are doing virtual therapist, and there's like virtual girlfriend type stuff, but it's it's very early.
He just throws that out like virtual. Maybe you've heard of like the girlfriend. It's kind of it's a niche market. It's a niche market. Virtual, sex bots. Sex bots is where we're going. I don't know. Do you think there's any hope for humanity, Dave, in the robot takeover? Because we do have people like Zuckerberg pushing for. You only have enough time for 3 friends, but the human heart needs room for 15 friends. And here's your 12 AI bot friends that are going to feed information into your life as though they're human and give you advice and teach you and build your core human. Like he's saying, we need 15 friends. Most people only have 3. That means the vast majority of what he wants to be seeding wisdom into your life is not even human. It's just based off of data gathering from humans and such. I mean, I could actually make the argument that you're probably going to learn a hell of a lot more if you have more robot friends than human friends, because the robots are smarter. But what does that say for the future of humanity and its inevitable obsolescence, Dave?
Yeah, and wait until all of the AI when the singularity happens, there won't be like, oh, ChatGPT and there's Grok over here and like, oh, Honda it'll be the AI.
It'll be put the chip in and know all the things.
The AI, it will have one unified voice and message and mind, and it will be everywhere.
We are meta, for we are many.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're all vying for that thing. That's what they all want. But oh man, it's so crazy. Do I have high hopes for humanity? I mean, right now we're not heading in the right direction. People love being detached from nature and God. They think that they can do better than nature and God. Right now, seems like the average, I mean, I know we're being poked and prodded in every way and there's unnatural shit, but he just tells you that, oh, most people have 3 friends. Personally, I think that's pretty good. If you have like 3 really good friends, I think that's pretty good. If you got some, some on the outskirts,
that's pretty normal.
That's pretty normal. If you got one really great friend, I still think you're in pretty good shape. But no, that's not enough. We got to make sure, because you're capable of having 15 relationships. So I'm going to make all these things. It's more of that, like, we humans shouldn't settle for that. Oh, let's crank it up to 11. And
it makes me miss MySpace, where everything was personalized to yourself, but it was like, it was so personal that your top 8 was a big deal, like your top 8 friends, and there would be beef and drama over if somebody removed somebody from their top 8 friends. I miss those days of drama, not the days of you don't have enough friends. You need to purchase them at meta.com for the discount price of fucking robots. Yes, we are playing God. We are trying to replace all natural things with it's the tree of knowledge of good and evil. It's the forbidden fruit. It's the thing that is like, oh, this will make you gods. If you do this, it will give you everything that you want. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know how humanity will hold up to that kind of evolution, if you will, but the expansion of knowledge hasn't seemed to make anybody smarter. It has seemed to make people lazier, stupider, and more susceptible to propaganda. But the good news is, in the playing of God, we have gotten to a point where the robots not only know everything, not only know more than humans. They can know more than humans, but no human would ever trust a robot fully because it's never going to look like a human. It's always going to have that uncanny valley aspect to it. Until Tokyo invented the skin. The skin made from human skin for robots. It says robots could soon be smiling right at you. This lab-grown living skin is made from human cells. Japanese scientists successfully attached the material to robotic faces.
Okay, hold on,
I'm going to have to turn this down. Let me turn it down. It says, until now, no one had figured out how to make the living skin move. So I think by attaching these actuators and anchors, it becomes possible to manipulate living skin for the first time. Not for the first time, just for the first time on robots, and not humans, where it belongs. This is new technology that we developed. Researchers aim to add more elements, including circulatory systems and nerves. The robots can then be used to test cosmetics and topical drugs. Yes, I'm sure that's their biggest concern. Our body is a three-dimensional structure, such a three-dimensional structure like this has a lot of movements. Our body, I think this technology could provide a good model to simulate how medicine and cosmetics applied to skin can change during these movements. All right, I think that's probably enough. We've made skin. So basically, we made the brain of the robot first, and then put it everywhere for free purchase, and then we were making the body is able to do stuff, and now we are making the skin suit, the literal human skin suit, to go over the robots to further convince humans that this is the next evolution of humanity. Any thoughts, Dave?
I'm living tissue over metal polyalloy. The T800. You've seen Terminator, right? Is that one?
No, Dave. That's on the list of things that you yelled at me already that I'm supposed to watch.
That's right. I figured you would have maybe taken my advice over the past 2 years and maybe seen Terminator and Terminator 2. Everybody else,
Deadpool was heck.
Well, I mean, that's fine. But everybody in the chat has seen Terminator and Terminator 2.
Oh, sure.
You, bro.
Everybody in the country has seen Terminator and Terminator 2, except for me.
So we got all the stuff. Everything's lining up. We got the AI that's coming along nicely. We got robots, and we got the skin that we're going to throw over the robot so we can make ourselves feel more comfortable. The fuck dolls will be way better having, like flesh. So gross, dude. We're headed into it, aren't we?
Will they just auto transplant vaginas from corpses onto the robot dolls? How does that work?
Oh my god.
I mean, honest question, Dave. If you had to choose, this is a would you rather question for you. Would you rather a corpse grafted vagina onto a robot sex doll? Would you rather have that circumstance in your life, or a biological man who has slit his penis up the middle and rolled it back like a tube of toothpaste and has now a very large urethra?
Bro, artificial pussy all day.
Wow. I mean, I think they both are, but Yeah,
No, I mean, at least there's a mystery there. I don't know where that shit came from, but I know that the other thing is a fucking man's flesh wound, and I'm not fucking it.
You bigot. I mean, would that make you a transphobe or a trans enthusiast? Because transhuman and transgen, I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, I'm sorry, dudes. I'm going with the robot too. Just, I imagine there's less drama.
Fleshlight is going to be the
very
first
least.
people they'll take advantage of that. They're going to, now with real flesh.
Gross. My wife asked, not in the chats, but texted me, and she said, "Is it an old lady's vagina?" Now, if it was an old lady's vagina, would that change it at all for you, Dave?
Nope. Older,
Nope, me neither.
whatever. It could be 100-year-old vagina.
I'll take a vagina over a broken penis any day. Sorry.
Yep.
All right. I think that's a great place to wrap it up. This very lighthearted, family-friendly episode with our good, definitely not fed cop friend Adam Nutter. Definitely not comedian Adam Nutter. Go check him out at Adam Nutter on X or wherever bad comedy is sold. Dave, where can people find you? And anything else you got going on before we jump into a bunch of heretical, woke right nonsense in the after party?
Can't wait. You can find me at dissidentmedia.com and Dissident Media on Twitter. And Dave versus Goliath from time to time on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You can find me at thesystemsdown.tv, at TSIDpod on Twitter, at Dissident Media on Twitter also sometimes, and wherever the System is Downs are sold. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for hanging out. And we are going to keep this party going in the after party. As I said, we're going to be talking about James Lindsay, what's his name? Jordan Peterson. Their battle of the big wits today to define the ever elusive meaning of the woke right. We're going to get into that in the after party. So come hang out and join us there. As I said, the titles will not be correct if you go over there, but you're in the right place. I think it's something about humanity being obsolete or something. That stuff we just talked about. You got your bonus for free. We're going to do even spicier bonus over there. It just needs more time than we had. So thank you for hanging out, and we will see you guys next time. Until then, question everything. Stay uncomfortable. Be bad. Have fun. And we'll talk to you then. Peace out.
Thanks for watching. Smash all the like and subscribe buttons because that's what we say at the end of videos. Good night, everybody.
This concludes our broadcast day.